I'm loving the community service option. I just got out of court and I'm loving that I can pay my restitution, my fine, my debt to society for acting in a way that was not conducive to an efficient or well-run society. Like, it's just not as peaceful of an act. I like the option that I can pay money or I can do community service. I love that. I love that option because I feel so much better about paying back to the community with acts rather than money anyway. I think money's pretty wicked. I'd like to just get rid of using money. So it's nice that I have that option that I can pay back with actual acts and like service, ministry.
In 2 miles, take exit 7 for US 71 South, I-540 South toward Fort Smith.
Rather than having to just pay money that I legitimately don't have. Like, I have more time than money right now, so it's really nice that that's an option. I wonder if this would work for welfare, because we give people welfare because they don't have a job. You know, they don't have a use in society. They're basically saying, like, I can't find a way to be useful in society. I have some kind of legitimate reason why I can't be, or I'm unable to for whatever reason. Like, I have a legitimate reason why I can't be useful in society, you know, and it's like, but could you do community service? I feel like that would be great. Like, it's the same situation. You could do the same system. Do they have enough projects that you could work on? I'm sure you could come up with something. Maybe you could significantly reduce the budget of the parks department, maybe if, like, cleaning parks, emptying trash out of public parks, just to make parks and public places nicer. Just have people, instead of just getting welfare, maybe welfare, if you're getting food stamps or food assistance or housing assistance, you have a certain amount of community service. But is that communism? Is like, I'm
in half a mile, take exit 7 for US 71 South, I-540 South toward Fort Smith.
I'm looking for a job right now, and would that be an option for me? Like, if that were an option, I would take it. Especially right now where things are so up in the air with my life and what I'm going to do next, and I really don't know. I'm just kind of stuck here in limbo for who knows how long. It's hard to get a job under those conditions and even know where you're going to be next. So
take exit 7.
It would be nice if I had some kind of community service option to get resources, because
continue for 12 miles.
It's getting kind of tight. I was just cut back, and I mean, I consider it fairly because, I mean, I don't know. It's just what the law would consider a fair amount. So I'm cut back to what they consider a fair amount. I should have something going to support myself. It's just kind of with the situation as it is. It's just a little bit like more than normally difficult. I don't know. So I don't know. It would be nice to have some option like that. And then it made me think, like, it would be nice if that were the welfare. I think that people would feel better about the welfare program in general if people were doing something to contribute. It's like, okay, so you haven't found a way to contribute, like, in the public sector, sectorally. You haven't figured out a way to, like, contribute generally to the community on your own. Like, we can find something for you to do to contribute, though. Like, sure, you can use resources of the community and just find something to contribute, like maintain this, like, section of the highway or, like, the park, you know. It makes sense that you would be able to find something to contribute, because even me with all my children, we could go to the park and pick up trash, you know, to contribute. That would be good. It would be good for kids to see that too. I don't know how we feel about child labor. Like, can you take your kids to participate in community service? And would that turn into is there a way for that to be abused? Could that turn into a child labor situation? I don't know. I could see how in the spirit of the law it'd be great, but maybe it would not be able to be pulled off with the letter of the law, just because, like, it would be hard to monitor and stuff. So maybe, like, children couldn't work, but that also puts a little bit of a problem in, because a lot of times the reason people can't work is because they're a single mother, and, like, they can't get childcare or whatever. And so how can they get childcare to do the community service? That defeats the whole point. But maybe there's something you can do. Maybe there's some community service you can do from home, like something over the internet, some kind of way to contribute something. Maybe people who are involved in it know more than I do about the situation, and maybe there are a lot of jobs people could contribute to that would help save everybody money, because if you're doing a job that helps save the public like $1 billion a year or whatever on like cleaning the public park bathrooms, then like that helps the whole community come up a little bit. So it's like you don't feel like such a drain on society of just getting like resources for like no other reason than you just exist and we care about you. But then you can contribute too. I don't say like actually contribute, because maybe people are contributing in their own way, but I mean, it's just in nature, you have to like contribute your effort in order to get resources. It's reaping where you have sown. It's when you reap where you haven't sown, you're like taking from your neighbor's field. You didn't put any work into that. You have to put work in to get stuff out, typically. And society typically will kind of have compassion on people who have problems. Like, well, you're legitimately old. You're like too old to plant a field. So, and you don't, your family's kind of like gone or deadbeats or whatever. So like, we'll take care of you because we don't want to see old people suffering like in their old age. And then like, if you have a disability, we can take care of you, but we all know that deep down on that primal level, when it comes down to survival of the fittest is a thing in nature. And so people who are not contributing to the whole, like typically don't survive. So like, that's just kind of a luxury that we're able to do with our complex society. And if that were to go away, like people seem to think they want it to, the complex, like social structure that we currently enjoy, then like those things will go away. Then you do have to find a niche. You have to find a way to contribute. So I'm just thinking of ways people could contribute. I don't know, but then does that just devolve into communism? And then there's a leader. If there's just not a leader, I don't know how we do that. Just judges, we can go back to judges. That kind of makes sense. But where people exalt themselves above each other, like how do we get away from doing that? How can we just be equals on the land, all with an equal say in what happens? And I don't need to know what's going on and who knows whatever other part of the country. I just need to know what's going on in my part of the country and my local area, pretty much for the most part. I guess there's people who branch out and can be like bridges between communities, though. I just think the community itself of the United States might be too big to manage. Like, it really might just be too big to manage. It's this behemoth. It really just might be too big. And then there's like it's just a threat to the other countries in the world just because we're so big. They have to create unions of their own until we get these giant like monopolies all over the place till someone just owns it all. And it's just like, maybe the big mega communities though, like can't, like I don't know. It's just too powerful. When you work together, you're way powerful. You're way too powerful. Is that what it means in the Bible? Zion will be in the mountains or something? People will be afraid to like go against her, So like the United States, there's a lot of mountain ranges in the United States. For all the mountains, kind of, I don't know. You're afraid to go against the United States. It's such a utopia. All this working together we did over here. Are people trying to throw wrenches in the works to make us not work together? All this ideas of like hate being spread around. Hate and fear and scarcity, and we're pretty dang powerful. But is that even wise? It is even wise to have some kind of like mega power. Probably not. It's probably dangerous, but then if we let go of it, like that's dangerous too. Somebody could come in and take over, but I just don't think they will. I think we're pretty armed to the teeth over here. I think like keeping the guns was a good idea. If everyone's just really armed to the teeth, nobody is gonna want, like, it's gonna feel daunting to like try to invade because like everyone's gonna rally against that. Everyone here loves sovereignty and liberty, and like, I mean, I just feel like that's just the natural feeling. It would just feel safe. I don't know. We just don't need a leader. We could just do our own thing. We don't need to be going overseas for our products. We could just be self-sufficient right here. We could just go back to the way it used to be for a little while. It's like, let things shake out. Everyone just take care of their own place. Look around and get your neighbor's needs met. Just be Christian. Just be getting needs met. Help each other in your place. If you're dirt poor and have nothing, you still have the land. You have the ground. You have seeds. Could we start from the ground up? Can you build a house out of the ground? Most people can. Most people have figured out how to build houses out of like the ground stuff. So we could just do that. We could just get everyone's needs met and then like move forward. But I think it's kind of gross when like a community of people who have their needs and their luxury wants met, and then they're like exploiting the people who don't even have their needs met yet. That's like when you become a global power and you don't like care about your neighbor anymore because you got your stuff done, and then you're like, okay, well, I'm like really good at it, so now I can just like get even more luxuries because these people are bad at it and I can exploit them in this way. And it's just like, that seems like that's a problem. I feel like that's when you're running into like,
in 600 feet, merge onto Rogers Avenue.
Problem territory, you know. So maybe we need to not do that cringy stuff. Like, let's love our neighbors as ourselves. Once we have our needs met, let's look around, you know.